Welcome back to Wines du Jour. We're having a good time here at Bistro 57, a great restaurant that you need to search out yourself, and it's located inside the Aliante Hotel. That's in North Las Vegas. Let me tell you, it's a great place to come. Now, we're having a good time. We're talking with Sean Denton, who is the sommelier and the assistant restaurant manager here, but we also were talking about our first wine, which comes from Dry Creek, Sonoma County, a Zinfandel. And we've paired it with, I think that pepper tuna was pretty doggone good. But we are now starting to pour wine number 2. Now, wine number 2 comes from a whole different country. It doesn't come from California. It comes from Argentina. And Argentina, I'm hoping you know, is in South America. And it's on the east coast of South America, and it's a beautiful country. In fact, to tell you something about Argentinians, the people there, I think their middle name is meat. They eat beef 3 meals a day, and that's not an exaggeration. They love it for breakfast, for lunch, and for dinner, and they've discovered a varietal that they've fallen in love with called Malbec. Now, Malbec comes from France originally, but it ended up working its way down to Argentina and becomes the nation's most popular red wine, Malbec. But how do you feel about Malbec? You like Malbec pretty well?
I love Malbec. It's really came into its own in the last couple of years, becoming very popular. I love the flavor in it.
It's easy to drink, and it's really food friendly. It goes with a lot of different kinds of food. Let me give you a few examples. It goes great with pork. Who figures, okay? It goes great with chicken. We talked a little earlier about the Zinfandel with a little bit of chicken, but this goes very well with chicken as well. And another one I love Malbec with, and especially this Alamos that we're tasting tonight. It's this 2010 Alamos Malbec. I happen to love it with mushrooms, and we're talking about sautéed wild mushrooms. It's just an automatic, natural thing. It has a cassis taste to it. It has all the berries, the red berries, the cherries, and so on. It has that particular taste to it. It's full-bodied, so it has, when you've got it in your mouth, you've got some wine in your mouth. It's not mealy in any way, shape, or form. It has a real silky tannin taste to it, which is very positive. So it goes down very smooth, if we can put it that way. And so because of the fact that it loves a lot of different kinds of food, this goes great with Mexican food in general. It goes great with Cajun or Creole food in general. It's wonderful with Thai food in general. And that's where the spiciness, when you go to a Thai restaurant, they ask you, do you want it the heat factor 1 to 10? And you pick, 3 or 7 or whatever it is. I pick 10, but most people don't, and I understand that. But it also goes with Indian food, where curries are the number one thing. And believe it or not, there's a number of curries from India that this Malbec would go beautiful with.
Oh yeah, a nice yellow curry would go really well with it.
Yeah, really good. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, Italian cuisine. So any of those, you have no problem with a little bit of Malbec. Okay, we're going to be going to wine number 3 here shortly, and the food. And I want to mention it because I want to kind of give everybody here, our audience, a heads up. Wine number 3, as I told you earlier, is a Cabernet Sauvignon. Comes to us from the Pedroncelli Dry Creek, Sonoma area, as well as the original one that we had, or the first one that we had tonight, the Zinfandel. But the chef has gone crazy. He's taken some fresh croissants, which they do here, and he's let it dry out and made what we call a bread pudding. Everybody loves good bread pudding, and when it's made with croissant, it just kind of moves it up in stature. And then he's actually taken some great chocolate and made that chocolate bread pudding to go with this Cabernet Sauvignon. So you're going to be very impressed with a dessert with Cabernet Sauvignon, which is not something that you normally think about. Talk a little bit about this, if you would, Sean.
Pretty much chocolate, especially dark chocolate, goes with the Cabernet. You usually pick up the flavor of chocolate and Cabernet. A lot of times people can't pick it out. but grab a piece of dark chocolate, like 80% cacao, bite into it, and sip on some wine for a little after-dinner snack.
Absolutely, no question about it. So, what a way to wind up a beautiful evening, tasting 3 different wines with a little bit of food, and then having the Cabernet Sauvignon that everybody thought was going to be the biggest, most bold flavor of them all, with a dessert like chocolate croissant bread pudding. Not too bad at all. Now, some of the things that you may notice about a Cabernet Sauvignon is generally, and I'm saying generally, the mouthfeel is full. Cab is usually a full-bodied flavor. It has the tannins, it has the acidity, it has a chocolate flavor, and that's one of the reasons that Chef Rusty Hicks has put together this combination. But you also can get some warm cloves. I don't know if you can detect the cloves or not. And of course the typical cherry and blueberry, raspberry, all the dark fruit as we call it. Well, let me tell you some of the things that Cabernet Sauvignon in general goes with. It goes with almost any kind of red meat. Now that red meat could also be veal, but we're talking about red meat in general. Lamb, beef, in particular. It goes with, and I like it really well, and if you haven't tried this, you might want to search it out, some strong cheeses, strong flavor. And if you're not sure, go to Whole Foods or someplace that has a lot of selection and talk to the people there and say, I'm looking for some strong cheese flavor to go with Cabernet Sauvignon, and they'll probably give you 3, 4, 5 different cheeses to try. My suggestion is you always try 3. If you start out with 3, you've got a selection. You've got an obvious thing that your partner or the people that are going to share this cheese with the Cabernet with you may like one better than the other, and that may not be your favorite, so you're going to be a hero having 2 or 3 different flavors. And that's really the right way to do it. You agree with that?
Oh, yes.
I think
diversity is king.
Yeah, diversity is king. That's a good way to put it. The chef was smart enough to not only put chocolate with his croissants to make the bread pudding, but he served something to you that you noticed on your plate but probably didn't pay much attention to, and that's just a little leaf of mint. Now, if you haven't tasted that with the chocolate and the wine, please pick up that leaf, taste it, and you're in. Got to go to a break. When we come back, we'll talk some more about Cabernet Sauvignon.
Switch to DirecTV today and get a free upgrade to the all-new Genie, our most advanced HD DVR ever. Genie serves your entire home with just one receiver, allows you to record any 5 shows at once, and gives you up to 3 times more HD recording capacity than cable. Order now and lock in your savings for 2 years. Other packages start at just $29.99 a month. So get all your TV wishes granted. Switch to DirecTV and get your free upgrade to Genie today.